we have to start with Giants Broncos 33-32. The Broncos over the Giants. Giants started this game on a night with a 19-0 lead. I think the stat by Kevin Harlan is something like 1,602 straight games where a team was up by at least 18 points in the fourth quarter, that with 6 minutes to go, and won the game. But you could see it, Albert. You could see it. And it started with the bad Jackson Dart interception. And then a couple plays later, Kayvon Thibodeau jumps off sides. And then a couple plays later, you got a procedural penalty where it's a delay a game. And then the pass rush stops landing. It all coalesced at once, and it was like this force of Giantsness that they were holding back for the whole game. And then they were like, here's our worst impulses all together at once while the Broncos stormed back.
Yeah, and I think it's I'm looking at the game book now. I think there's a nuance to what the Broncos just did. I mentioned the time zone thing, right? That I think is so impressive, and I don't think should go unnoticed here. The Broncos just got done. Like, they spent, the extra day, I believe, in Philly. They came in on Friday, right? So they were in Philly. They come back at the end of that game. They win that game at the wire, right? So they perform in the fourth quarter of that game, and they win that game at the wire. Then they go to London. They're in London all week. They beat the Jets in like a slugfest, right? Like in a game that was another 4-quarter game that they needed to win at the end. There's no foot off the gas in that one. And then they come back across, I think it's 7 time zones, right? Like from London to Denver. And they are down 19-0 going into the fourth quarter at altitude. And they come back and I just thought, like, that little nuance of it shows like so much of what Sean Payton's tried to build there. And I wrote this morning, like, everybody focuses on the quarterback development piece of it, on the offensive scheme piece of it. Like, this is what Sean Payton's trying to build. You know what I mean? Like, this is like why they have 2.5 hour practices, why they hit in training camp, and why all of that different stuff that he really believes in. And I look at it and I see, I just, every time they needed a play, they got one. You know what I mean? Like, every time they needed a play, they got one. And the throw Nix made into that hole in the zone down the middle of the field to Mims, and then rushing up to the line and getting the ball out to Sutton. And there's something about that team where they just believe they're going to outlast you, And I even look at the comeback, the way it started. And I thought this was sort of interesting too. Again, they're down 19-0, right? I mean, the start of that next drive, Dobbins for 9, Dobbins for 5. They throw to Sutton for 16, Dobbins for 32, Dobbins for 2. It's just kind of, we're going to make this all. We always make all of this stuff about the quarterback and scheme and all that. Like, this was just Denver being the tougher team, right?
Yeah. I mean, really, that's what it came down to. And the offensive line held up. And I took a little bit of an issue with, so Brian Burns after the game, the Giants pass rusher. And,
yeah, I saw that.
If we're talking about Mike McDaniel on Monday, we should also probably be talking about Shane Bowen, their defensive coordinator, a little bit on Monday. I mean, is this the kind of game that players don't respond to the point where you have to alter your approach at defensive coordinator? I don't know. He's been in the crosshairs there for a little while.
But that was tough. I think for people who didn't see it, Burns was, I think it was James Palmer, our buddy, right? Like, who caught the video of him.
Big Game James.
Yeah, Big Game James. That's right. But another Buckeye alum.
Please.
It was Burns was kind of like coming out of the tunnel and rounding the corner. And he said something along the lines of dropping 8. He said something about dropping 8, right? Didn't he? Into coverage?
Yeah, like basically he was upset on the last defensive drive that they were dropping 8 into coverage, which, here's my thing though. Outside of the Eagles game, like, this pass rush has not gotten home. And I looked at it yesterday, and I looked at the numbers yesterday, and I was like, okay, well, the Giants, because you watch the game and sometimes it's so frantic and it's so back and forth that you might miss some of the statistical nuance, which is why, I'll probably watch that game again today. But I was like, well, maybe he's upset because the Giants pass rush was really crushing Bo Nix or getting home. 2 sacks and 5 hits. I mean, it's not, for what you have, that's not astronomical. I mean, there were quarterbacks, there were teams that had 15, 20 quarterback hits on Sunday. And so I think it's one of those deals where if you, I think it's one of those deals where you kind of have to earn that call from your head coach. And if not, Shane Bones can be like, listen, man, it's Sean Payton. Bo Nix was slinging it in this game. He looked as good as I've seen him. And I think over the course of the flow of the game, you could just see that he stopped thinking and he was just
Yeah.
playing. And when he does, I mean, he's got a rifle and it's dead on. And sneaky
Yeah.
Evan Ingram revenge play in that game too at the end. So a lot to dissect there. But I mean,
But I thought,
my
yeah, I mean, you're right though. Like those two, the Knicks throws that I mentioned to Mims and Sutton were big time throws.
mm-hmm. Blue Chew is the upgrade button for your sex life. Chewable tablets that deliver stronger, harder, long-lasting erections without the hoops. No waiting rooms, no pharmacy lines, just quick online visits. And once approved by a licensed medical provider, Blue Chew sends the chews straight to your door. Made to work, and your first month is free. BlueChew.com. Simple as that. Guys, if you've been thinking about it, now is the time to try Blue Chew with your first month free. Great sex is a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use promo code MMQB. Pay $5 shipping. That's promo code MMQB. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. My hope, and there's so many broken hearts here today. We were at our community trunk or treat, our elementary school trunk or treat. I saw like 2 or 3 kids dressed up as Jackson Dart with the paint, and
the
they
like
had like their mom's necklaces on, and there was a house by there's a house by me that has like a 12-foot tall skeleton.
Their mom's necklace on. That's great.
Because he's got he's iced out a little bit,
He is.
But they had there's a house near me with like a big 12-foot skeleton, and they legitimately put Cam Scatabo jersey on it, and then they made a sign that said Cam Scataboo, like for Halloween,
and with the extra, right?
Yeah, and I was like, this is a 4th round pick out of Arizona State who was in California, and this place has completely fallen in love with him. And when they were popping their shirts off after Philly and like bumping chests with each other, I was like, God, this is as special.
It's funny who like the Giants fans have like latched on to it. Like this is the second time now, like in the last few years. Tommy DeVito was their darling before, where it's like a non-obvious,
I think that's everywhere though, right? I mean, it's like how Philly, and I predicted this because I felt like Philly would be into the unique irony of like multiple white cornerbacks, but to have Cooper DeJean and like Reed Blankenship, I was like, they're just going to go bonkers for this. And they did. Yeah. And I don't think it's a white thing. I think it's like Cam Scatabo is just like so out there and so bizarre that it just fits. And so was Tommy. I mean, Tommy was in the best possible way. He was living with his parents in Cedar Grove. And eating at the deli down the street from his house until like right before he was a superstar for 3 weeks or whatever it was.
But well, I mean, I can speak with authority being up here with the going crazy over the white offensive player thing, because they've had quite a few here over the years.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, those guys were putting up Wes Welker and Julian Edelman and maybe a little bit less.
Have you heard about Efton Chisholm? He was
he's
a big star of August up here. Yeah. That name, Chisholm. I think it's Efton Chisholm III. It sounds like a midfielder at Johns Hopkins.
Is he still on the team, like in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, he is. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I remember being really excited when he made the team, but
he's still there. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at like how often he's actually dressed. Let's see if he dressed yesterday. He was. No, he was active yesterday. Yeah, he was active.
Got to feed Chisholm here, Vrabel. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
He played 10 offensive snaps. What do you know?
All right.
10 offensive
Let's
snaps,
go.
8 special team snaps. Jack of all trades, Efton Chisholm, the third.
EFC3. We go from TB12 to EFC3.
EFT3.
EFC3. Efton, whatever. So Sunday Night Football, 49ers.
It does sound like a lacrosse player, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, of course it does.